You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victim of your habits. Look at your life right now. Everything you hate about it, your lack of focus, your anxiety, your soft body, your fragile bank account, is not an accident. It is a trailing indicator of your habits. We like to think that ruin comes from a catastrophe, a sudden crash, a massive failure, but that is rarely true. Ruin is slow. Ruin is quiet. It enters your life through the open door of a small, weak habit. You hit the snooze button. You skip the gym because you are tired. You scroll through your phone for 30 minutes before getting out of bed. You complain about the weather. These seem like small things. You tell yourself they don't matter. You say, "I'll be disciplined tomorrow." But the Stoics knew the terrifying truth. There is no tomorrow. There is only right now. And right now, you are training yourself to be weak. Epictetus warned us centuries ago. He said, "Every habit and faculty is confirmed and grown in its corresponding actions, walking by walking, and running by running. If you wish not to be of an angry temper, do not feed the habit." When you delay action, you are practicing procrastination. When you complain, you are practicing victimhood. You are literally wiring your brain to avoid difficulty. You are building a character that crumbles under pressure. A weak man is not born weak. He is forged day by day by the choice of the easy path. He chooses comfort over duty. He chooses feelings over principles. And eventually, he wakes up one day and realizes he is a prisoner. Not a prisoner of the state, but a prisoner of his own impulses. He cannot sit in a quiet room because he is addicted to distraction. He cannot handle a difficult conversation because he is addicted to being liked. This is the cost of weak habits. They promise you comfort in the moment, but they rob you of your future. They steal your potential and sell it for a cheap dopamine hit. Let's dissect the most dangerous habit of modern men, the habit of cheap dopamine. You live in a world designed to keep you weak. The algorithm, the junk food, the easy entertainment, it is all engineered to bypass your logic and trigger your base instincts. When you reach for your phone the moment you feel bored, you are killing your ability to think. You are teaching your mind that it does not need to endure even 10 seconds of stillness. Seneca asked, "What is the use of overcoming opponent after opponent in the wrestling or boxing rings if you can be overcome by your temper?" We can update this for today. What is the use of being a man if you are enslaved by a glowing rectangle? If you cannot resist the urge to check a notification, how can you expect to resist the urge to quit when life actually gets hard? Discipline is nothing more than the ability to negotiate with your own brain. Your brain says, "This is uncomfortable, stop." Discipline says, "I know, keep going." But a weak habit shortcuts this negotiation. It gives the brain exactly what it wants immediately. This creates a feedback loop of fragility. The more you give in to immediate gratification, the lower your tolerance for pain becomes. Soon, even minor inconveniences ruin your day. A traffic jam makes you furious. A rude comment destroys your mood. You become a leaf in the wind, blown around by whatever happens to you. The Stoics called this slavery. A man who cannot command himself is a slave to everything else. Observe yourself today. How many times do you seek comfort, How many times do you avoid friction? If you are honest, the number will scare you. That fear is good. That fear is the beginning of change. The second habit that destroys men is the habit of reaction. Watch the average man when something goes wrong. He immediately looks for something to blame. He blames the government, his boss, his wife, the economy. He vents. He gets loud. He thinks this is strength. He thinks he is standing up for himself. He is wrong. He is revealing his weakness to the world. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who held the weight of the known world on his shoulders, had a rule: to be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. A weak man reacts, a strong man responds. The habit of reaction betrays you. It shows that you have no emotional gap. It shows that your inner state is entirely dependent on external events. If someone insults you and you get angry, they own you. They have the remote control of your emotions. They press a button and you jump. Is that dignity? Is that power? No, it is puppetry. The habit of reaction is formed in the small moments. It's the sigh when you drop your keys. It's the curse word when the internet is slow. It's the mental spiral when someone doesn't text you back. You must break this habit. You must practice the Stoic pause. When chaos strikes, you do not speak. You do not move. You wait. You let the initial wave of emotion pass over you. You look at the situation objectively. You ask, is this in my control? If it is, you fix it. If it is not, you accept it. But you never ever complain about it. Complaining is the sound of a man who refuses to accept reality. It is a waste of energy. It changes nothing. Stop telling the world how hard your life is. Nobody cares, and the ones who do care can't help you. Only you can help you. The third habit is the habit of half measures. This is the habit of the man who starts but never finishes. The man who has great ideas but zero execution. The man who goes to the gym for 2 weeks and then quits because he doesn't see results. This habit is insidious because it disguises itself as effort. You feel like you are doing something because you started. But starting is easy. Everyone starts. Finishing is rare. The Stoics believed that how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you leave your bed unmade, you are practicing sloppiness. If you leave a project 90% done, you are practicing quitting. You are teaching yourself that good enough is acceptable. But excellence is not an act, it is a habit. When you accept mediocrity in the small details of your life, you guarantee mediocrity in the big picture. You cannot have a disorganized, chaotic private life and expect to have a focused, successful public life. The mind is not compartmentalized like that. If you say you will do something and you do not do it, you violate your own integrity. You learn to distrust yourself. And if you do not trust yourself, you will always be insecure. Confidence comes from the reputation you have with yourself. Every time you finish a task, every time you keep a promise to yourself, you stack evidence that you are a man of value. Stop leaving things undone. Stop negotiating the standards down. If you decide to do a task, do it to the absolute best of your ability. Not for the reward, not for the praise, but because you are the kind of man who does things correctly. How do we break these chains? How do we kill the weak man to let the strong man live? We must use the Stoic tool of voluntary hardship. We do not wait for life to get hard.
We make it hard on purpose. If you are addicted to comfort, you must aggressively pursue discomfort. Take the cold shower, fast for 24 hours, turn off your phone for a whole day, wake up an hour earlier than necessary. You do this to shock your system. You do this to remind your body that it is a servant, not the master. Musonius Rufus, the teacher of Epictetus, taught that we must train the soul just as we train the body. We must treat our habits like muscles. Right now, your weakness muscles are huge. They are pumped up from years of daily use. Your discipline muscles are atrophied. The only way to reverse this is reps. Painful, boring, consistent reps.